Imagine a killer who doesn't break into your house, but simply walks through the front door you forgot to lock. He waits in the shadows, watching your family sleep, holding a pickaxe he found in your own backyard. Between 2001 and 2003, 67 people met this exact gruesome end. The police were powerless, the public was paralyzed by fear, and the killer, he was just getting started. Why did he do it? And how did a single man stay invisible while committing a massacre of this scale? Let's dive into the dark shadow of Yang Xinhai. The story of Yang Xinhai, East Asia's worst serial killer. Today we look into the story of Yang Xinhai, a man known as the worst serial killer in the history of China, and perhaps all of East Asia, who murdered 67 people and sexually assaulted 23 women over a 3-year period from 2001 to 2003.
On November 17, 2003, Chinese media outlets simultaneously reported on 2 serial killers who seemed like soul twins. They reported that the continuous emergence of mass serial killers in China was causing significant social chaos. Yang Xinhai, a 35-year-old man who had brutally murdered 67 people while traveling across 4 provinces, Anhui, Henan, Hebei, and Shandong, confessed to an additional 12 counts of attempted murder. On the same day, 29-year-old Huang Yong was captured in Pingyu County, Henan Province. Since 2001, Huang had frequented internet cafes to lure and kill 17 teenagers and was caught while attempting to kill his 18th victim. By the early 2000s, Chinese citizens had become somewhat desensitized to bizarre serial killers appearing in the news. However, even they were beyond horrified by the news that one man had murdered 67 people. The public demanded to know if such a massive scale of killing was even possible, and the media scrambled to publish articles detailing who Yang Xinhai was and the nature of his crimes. A childhood steeped in poverty. According to the revealed facts, Yang Xinhai was born in 1968 as the 4th of 6 children in a poor farming family in Henan Province. His family was dirt poor, often skipping meals, and he received little affection or care from his parents. Being shy and introverted, he didn't get along well with other children at school, but he was academically gifted and consistently maintained top grades. However, from the school's perspective, a student who couldn't afford tuition, let alone dormitory fees, was not viewed kindly. While other students exchanged grain brought from home for meal tickets, Yang survived by foraging for wild greens and mushrooms in the nearby mountains. Eventually, when his unpaid tuition fees piled up to the point of forced withdrawal, he dropped out without a word to his family and ran away from home. Deeply scarred by poverty, Yang began traveling to coal mines and large construction sites across China to earn money. He was paid approximately 150 KRW in today's currency for 8 hours of mining coal. Though he took any job that paid, he struggled to save money. Living a nomadic life, his greed eventually led him to crime, starting with stealing aluminum pots from restaurants to sell them. While committing thefts across Shaanxi and Hebei provinces, he was caught in 1988 at the age of 20 and served 3 years in a labor camp, a facility for young offenders aged 18 to 25. After his release in 1991, he couldn't leave his criminal life behind. In 1996, he was caught for attempted rape and sentenced to another 3 years. The Killing Tour. Whether it was the realization that he had wasted 6 years of his life, a sense of hopelessness for the future, or the belief that the social structure made it impossible for him to earn money honestly, Yang began committing serious crimes in earnest after his release. He did not stay in one area, but moved across multiple provinces. Despite the journeys taking days or weeks, Yang seemed to enjoy his killing tours across the continent. His method was calculated. He would enter a rural village far from the city. Using a stolen bicycle, he would scout the outskirts and rice paddies for houses with open doors. Rural homes often left their gates unlocked, making them easy targets. Once a target was found, he would hide and wait for the residents to return and go to sleep. He would then enter the house picking up whatever was available in the yard: pickaxes, axes, or hammers. His killing order was strong men first, then children, and finally women. Standing at only 158.5.2, with a thin frame, Yang avoided physical confrontations. He killed the men quickly while they slept to eliminate the biggest threat. He kept the women alive until the end for the purpose of sexual assault, after which he murdered them as brutally as the others. After the crimes, he would ransack the house for cash and valuables before calmly disappearing into the night to head to his next destination. Evading the law. Despite the string of brutal family massacres, Yang roamed free for 3 years. Because the crimes spanned such a vast geographical area, the police failed to realize the murders were connected or that they were the work of a single perpetrator. Yang also used clever tricks to confuse investigators. He wore different clothes every time and wore shoes several sizes too large. By leaving different-sized footprints at crime scenes, he successfully prevented the police from linking the cases into a single serial investigation. Over 3 years, his killing tour claimed 67 victims of all ages and genders. It was later discovered he had also committed over 20 rapes and 12 attempted murders. As the victim count grew, the authorities remained clueless. They could only issue warnings to rural villages. A killing demon is slaughtering entire families. Even healthy young men should avoid going out after dark and be wary of strangers. The capture and confession. In November 2003, Yang broke into a home as usual. He committed his crime and left, but there was one difference: the wife of the family miraculously regained consciousness. She crawled to a neighbor's house for help and survived. She provided a description of Yang and his methods, and investigators were able to collect DNA from bodily fluids left at the scene. The demon finally had a face. Shortly after his final crime, Yang was caught by police during a routine check while moving to another region. To their surprise, he confessed to his crimes quite readily. "I started killing because of 2 women. One betrayed me, and the other bit my tongue while I was raping her. From then on, I decided not to forgive anyone who looked down on me." In reality, Yang committed murders as a way to vent his anger whenever someone said something offensive to him, or he got into a minor dispute. Bizarrely, he didn't attack the person who offended him. Instead, he would attack innocent people in a nearby village. This randomness made him even harder to catch. He remembered his crimes and locations in great detail, confessing to murders in the same casual tone one might use to describe what they ate for lunch. The aftermath and social stigma. The Chinese public was paralyzed with shock. Because his confession was clear and evidence was mounting, the legal process moved quickly. Just 3 months after his arrest in February 2004, Yang Xinhai was executed in a Henan prison. An execution within 3 months was exceptionally fast, even for China, likely intended to quell public anxiety and serve as a stern warning. However, the story didn't end there. In 2008, 4 years after his execution, the Beijing News published a special feature revisiting his hometown. His father was found living in extreme poverty, surviving by collecting scrap metal and paper. His mother had reportedly cried so much upon his arrest that her eyesight had deteriorated to the point of near blindness. While most people didn't feel pity for Yang, the case, combined with the simultaneous arrest of the other serial killer, Huang Yang, led to a strange social phenomenon. Since both Yang and Huang were from Zhumadian Henan province, a toxic stigma began to spread. Beware of people from Henan. Discrimination against Henan residents intensified. Some companies even posted job notices stating they would not accept resumes from Henan natives. Henan has historically been one of China's poorest regions, and its people have long faced prejudice. Experts suggest that both killers born into the most underdeveloped rural areas and subjected to extreme discrimination while wandering for work likely had their twisted humanity fueled by this social exclusion. It wasn't that they were killers because they were from Henan. Rather, the way society treated people from Henan helped create these monsters. Though books like Henan We Are Not Monsters have tried to fight this image, the stigma remains a shadow over the region. This is the story of Yang Xinhai, a serial killer born of his era and raised by discrimination.